Alright, y'all know what this is. It's Manhunt, the 2003 horror stealth game, known for its obscene violence. I've played through it before for the internet, did a let's play of it a good 5 or 6 years back, where I did as much research as I was able to do, practiced runs and 5-starred every scene off screen, but it helped me get much better at the game. I did as much work as I was able to do to make that LP the best way to present the game that I could pull off. So, I would recommend that this video not be your introduction to Manhunt. Maybe watch that LP first if you haven't. Because this is going to be a gimmick run as I revisit the game for the first time in a long ass time. Manhunt has always had this feature where you could hook up a USB mic to your PS2 and it would read your voice as in-game noise that would alert the enemies to your presence. Which, as you can imagine, can make the stealth of the stealth game much more difficult. I've always wanted to try it out. Lucky for me, after years of not being able to get the PS2 to pick up any of my USB mics, I found out that the Xbox version, when emulated on the Xbox 360, has an emulation error that always reads the mic as being active, which means if you have one of your Xbox 360 live mics for chatting while playing Call of Duty, you can just hook that up and the game will read it. So I finally get to play the game using this gimmicky bullshit as a good excuse to just replay it like I want to do. So we're going to get right into it. The first chapter we're going to select from the scene selection here. I've already completed it because doing that, once it's completed, it will skip all the tutorials, which are very long and very plentiful in this first scene. Right after this unskippable cutscene would be a tutorial, just a tooltip on screen, accompanied by a slow pan across the environment. We will get to skip all that. Starting right now. Right into gameplay. And look at this. Looks amazing. Compared to the PS2 version, of course. Still looks pretty dated. Still looks like an Xbox game. But it's super smooth, very clean. There was a noise filter enabled by default. I've turned that off because recordings with noise filters get really, really fucked up. So that's off. It looks good as hell. I'm sure you can find a better recording of this game on like the PS4 or the PC version. But compared to my old LP, so nice. And our first victim is right over here, which again, we would normally have a tooltip telling us how to kill him, but we know how to kill him. Also, you'll notice, I am doing nothing, no movement, and I still am making noise, alerting hunters, causing myself some harm. Getting into a fist fight with the very first guy in the game, who, even the director admits, he's completely set up to be insta-killed. But we're taking the hard way, because we know this game pretty well. See, we were supposed to execute him. Normally this line would appear immediately after we did so. There's also supposed to be a tutorial here to tell us to get in the shadows, and the game doesn't advance until we do that. So if you don't know what the tutorial is telling you to do, you're kind of stuck at a dead end there. I'm sure eventually you'd figure out to duck in here. Thing is,
I got you now.
There we go. We can just walk right through. Look at him in our rear view, and he gets scared once we get too far away. Come on. There he comes. Aw, can't quite make it. That's as far as he'll go. Tragic. When we go a little further, he forgets about us immediately. Goes right back to his business. Now, you'll notice we are not hearing the director. We're seeing his subtitles, not hearing his voice. One of the side immersion benefits of playing with the in-game mic is that the director's voice goes into your earpiece, because that's how Cash is hearing the director, through an earpiece. So it is enhanced immersion, however, we can't hear the director. That's one of the major selling points of the game. Probably where most of the budget went. Getting Brian Cox to voice the director. Just amuses me how nonplussed this guy is. If we had left the original guy alive, which you very much can do, you could just run right past him. As soon as you get to the bottom of the stairs, he also forgets that you ever existed. And amusingly, while you're here in the basketball court, he will spot you and run to fight you, and then halfway down the stairs he'll forget that you exist and just sort of spin around in place, completely oblivious to the world around him. This first scene is very, very heavily scripted and full of tutorials, and it's easy to break. Now let's do a real execution. Not much of an execution, if we're honest, but I did have to go silent there. That's going to be the main thing that our voice technology is going to fuck up, is executions. So anytime I want to do them, I'm going to have to stay silent for at least a few seconds as I get close enough to initiate the execution. If I want to do any above the lowest level, I'm going to have to stay quiet for quite a while. This is also unskippable, but it goes by fast enough. Thought he was going to stay confused. No such luck. We can lose him quite easily. I stepped out of these very shallow shadows. Oh, we've got a very sharp weapon. Not using it for its intended purpose of shoving it down his throat. Still gets the job done. Since we're probably going to end up doing a lot more combat than I ever did in the main game, one, it is a good thing that I got a lot of practice with the combat by doing a full video on the Brawl game bonus scene, which is all melee combat. And also, we are going to get to see a lot of combos that we didn't see in the main game, because we didn't do much melee combat. That'll do. Was gonna gouge his eyes out, but he's a little harder to trick than most hunters. So now the door's open. Can head right on through to the next area. Some painkillers over there. Don't need them. In fact, there's an obscene amount of weapons in this next area. There are more of one-time use green weapons than there are hunters in this scene, which is a weird choice.
I'm gonna find you.
So the guy's yelling at me. He can definitely hear me. Now I'm just intentionally avoiding health pickups. Let's stop doing that. That's the guy guarding the chute. No, it's not.
Hey, we got the dog. He's over here for sure.
I can lose him. Might as well.
No one. I see the dog. I see him.
Here we go.
Where are you? You think you're real clever, huh?
Mostly going to be going for level 1 executions. Watch that Let's Play if you want to see every single execution in the game. Because they're worth seeing. I don't have a weapon. Can't execute that guy. But like I said, there are more weapons than enemies here. Plastic bag over in that corner. But the shard of glass is an improvement. He's probably going to start coming back. Hopefully he'll run past my hiding point. Enemies do tend to do that. Oh, this guy's taking his time. Almost got a good one. Just a millisecond off of getting that red execution. But it did land us right near the end of the scene. And we're out of there. We're probably going to get every time bonus. Because we're playing through so fast. Another nice thing is save times super fast. Load times really, really fast. I played through the PS2 version and didn't have these quality of life improvements available to me. So when I was going for all those 5 stars, I had to waste a lot of time going through load screens over and over again. This will be a lot faster if I just execute them. Still giving me tutorial pop-ups. Luckily they don't freeze the game like some of the ones in the last level did. But that one was useful. We can quick turn. I'm probably going to be using that quite a bit more often than I did in the original LP. Because, again, a lot more fighting. The combo with the blackjack here. The first hit knocks the enemy out of range of the successive hits. So it's a bad combo. Here on the stairs, he doesn't go as far back. But he is whacking the shit out of me. Now if we do a grab, we'll kill him. Okay, my hand's just going right through him. There we go. Grabbing enemies is terrible. Just a really bad mechanic.
I heard something. Sounded like a little lost soul. This whole thing's for shit. Someone must be helping him. I can do this. That dumb fuck won't know what hit him.
Nice quick level 2 execution. The level 1 execution on this is very, very slow. So, this tutorial would be skipped if we'd previously completed the scene. But alas. So yeah, to grab enemies, you have to hit them, well, you have to press the heavy attack button and the light attack button at the same time. And then in order to continue hitting them while they're grabbed, you have to hit those buttons over and over again really, really fast. At the same time. It's super awkward.
Okay, so I scare you. It's a... Come on, this is boring, man. Come out and fight. All clear. I'm hearing things.
Now we'll just see this execution one time before we replace the blackjack. Did not want to fight that guy. He would have just murdered me immediately. Because the baseball bat does a lot of damage. Especially compared to the blackjack. Couple pinatas here. I kind of regret not showing off this area as much as I could have. Because there's a lot to see. It's not terribly interesting, but there's a lot of it. this whole section here we didn't really look at when I first played it. Like I didn't feel like looking behind him. A tragic mistake. Close up on this graffiti. We don't need to hide anymore, even though there are enemies in the area. Just to show it off, let's aggro this guy. Get him chasing me. Run up here, where we're supposed to go next. And he forgets about me. This next guy, after we aggro him, we could turn around, run back down those same stairs. He too would forget about us. But we've got a much better weapon than he does. So let's wreck his day. Some ambush. Now we've got one of my favorite weapons. I don't know. Oh yeah, a bunch of enemies down there. They all seem to know where I am. Oh wait, they heard the combat and are going to check that out, I guess. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it away from me, so fuck them. We'll stick to required combat for now.
That you, dickwad? Just keep hitting.
Another... I think all blue weapons have that terrible combo that knocks the enemy back.
Pretty fired up.
Oh.
You're just making it more.
The reason I use grab kills as often as possible in combat is the enemy gets knocked down and then they don't get back up if you've grabbed them. If you just beat them to death, knock their health bar to 0 with straight damage without grabbing them, they will be on the ground and you have to either kick them to death or they'll get back up and fight you again. Then if you knock them down the second time, they stay dead. Here's the grab tutorial with a required combat segment. I hope I have my baseball bat out, because that'll make this go a lot faster. Switching to it takes precious time, but no, I've got my damn crowbar in my hand, because I used it to break the lock.
Kick his ass, boys. Kick the...
Of course, you draw weapons in real time in this game. So he had the opportunity to get a free hit on me. Didn't really pull it off. And there we go. Pretty easy scene. Guess I'm going to continue without saving there, which does speed things up a little bit. Hopefully the game doesn't crash in this next scene, but otherwise we're set. Although, this is a very difficult scene for how early it is in the game. Road to Ruin will mess you up pretty bad. The first scene, Born Again, I had a hard time 5-starring that scene because it was the first scene I had ever 5-starred. But the main reason for that is I'm bad at the game, or I was at the time. Even after I was good at the game, I still had a very hard time getting a 5-star on this scene. I would say this is one of the top 5 hardest scenes in the entire game to get a 5-star on.
Beat him down.
Bastard's giving me the slip.
Not so much for this part. This should be easier than I'm making it. But I have to whisper, because he might hear me. Nice fast execution on the white level. Gotta love that. And there are a lot of automatic getting spotted, like right here.
Pile in, boys.
Bad V-Bat, so he can do a lot of damage to us. One thing you gotta be careful of is if you do 2 of the heavy combos with the bat, that'll knock them down, and you won't have the chance to get the grab kill that is much faster. So you want to hit them like 3 times and then 2 times. Oh, this part. They give you stealth tutorials. Oh, look, we can hide on the wall and we can sneak out and peek around the corner. But the enemy here, he won't listen to our lures. We can't stealth him because he's another scripted jump out attack. So why did they give us the stealth tutorials there? There we go. Now we can get our grab kill. Glorious. So this is the first really hard room of the game. Well, I won't say really hard, but it's definitely a lot harder than all the previous rooms have been. Because we're supposed to learn how to use lures. So there's 2 enemies down that way.
This ain't no way to spend an evening. You better break and run now, 'cause I
Yep.
got you, you prick.
He chose to go out the other side of those stairs. He normally goes out the stairs that I threw the brick near. That's weird, but fortunate. I'll take it. The AI in this game is bizarre, which you wouldn't really notice in a casual playthrough because you would avoid all the enemies so much. Wouldn't really talk to them. Well, I'm not going to talk to them regardless, but I guess I am going to talk to them. That's the gimmick of this run.
Shit.
But you wouldn't see them or interact with them. You would mostly try to find ways to execute them.
Don't you worry none. I got your back covered.
I'm not sure I even knew that this little painkiller closet existed.
You're just prolonging the inevitable. Probably find the best. Oh, no one said this would be a fair fight.
Yep. 2 enemies is bad news.
Coming through.
You can pull it off, but it is heavily weighted in their favor. I've failed pretty badly to use lures here. But maybe I can grab this, try and split them up.
You've signed your death warrant.
That didn't split them up at all.
Damn it. Running like a chicken. Fuck it. You are using your eyes, aren't you? Seen anything yet?
I'll take it. And then we'll fight the last guy. So this is this whole gimmick is how I wanted to originally do the entire Let's Play. Because I was just really interested in seeing how this mic technology worked. Which honestly, it doesn't work that great. You can whisper and the enemies won't really hear you. Sometimes you can shout and they will pretty much ignore you. We don't need any more health. There's a checkpoint right down here. If I get in real trouble, I'll just die. So yeah, this would not have been a great way to do the Let's Play. Plus we wouldn't have been able to hear the director. I could have solved that with editing, but that would have been so much work. Yeah, I could have just taken all the director's lines, which they've all been ripped and put on YouTube. Could have spliced them in after the fact. But that would have been quite the nightmare. Just guaranteed burnout for a Let's Player. So this is the room that makes this one of the harder levels. guaranteed to make players get stuck for a long time. I know my blind run, I
Swear he's over here.
couldn't get past this room for like an hour.
Hey, I think he doubled back. Do you see him? You can't run forever.
Okay, so the other guy went back to his hiding spot, because he's one of those scripted jump-out attacks.
Lost him. Damn. Oh, hell. I lost the slimy fuck.
Also, if you don't kill everyone in the preceding room with the lures, they will also start piling in here, and you'll have even more enemies to deal with.
Real good. I want me a trophy.
Walking on the gravel was a good strategic move for this guy. Not good enough,
You don't have to do this, man.
but pretty smart. Uh-oh.
I got you in my
Why did
sights,
you come back?
asshole.
Weirdo. Whatever. He's supposed to stay upstairs and really guard the exit to this level, but he has chosen not to. So we just get to kill him faster. But normally he causes me a lot of problems. That actually probably did me a favor in the long run. And just for my own amusement, I like that the hood symbol is like an H with a circle around it. Like the anarchist A. It's as though they are havocists rather than anarchists. But no, in fact, they're simply hoods. The least flavorful, and I would say the worst gang in the entire game. But a good little intro, since you're not too worried about the flavor just yet. You're worried about survival. Next scene is where we get to one of the grossest gangs in the game. Probably the most fun gang to kill. In fact, they introduce them by killing one of them. Ramirez just walks up and snaps one of them right in half with his bare hands. Because they are bigots. And Ramirez is black, so he has to disprove their theories of white superiority. So as to demand their loyalty. Because they see what'll happen if they refuse to obey him. Now, I don't have any weapons, so alerting him was a very bad idea. This is gonna slow things down.
Jack shit.
At this point, it's faster just to run past him. Go get a weapon, then lose him. Now get an execution on him.
Another damn step. Where'd he go?
Where indeed. So I'll be taking this guy with me as a little souvenir. And of course his bat. Now, that guy is of interest to me. When we get to him, he's gonna get his own special scene. Because that's a change from the PS2 version that I wasn't aware of.
I'll check it out.
Or rather, I was aware of it, I just didn't realize it was in any American release of the game. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First, we gotta let this guy zigzag his way over to me.
You pathetic little chicken shit.
Thin air.
On to the Pac-Man section.
Damn contact lens. It just ain't sitting right.
Never heard that line before. Okay. Turn it around. Not quite. That'll do. Now we're on to the guy I said we gotta pay attention to. Oh, by the way, let's see if I can remember how to do this. I think it's over here. Yeah. It's a painkiller in there. There's a way to platform around this section. But whatever. It's not that interesting. What is this guy up here. When he turns around, I will splatter his brains. And as I do so, make sure to pay attention to his chest tattoo. Because it'll be on screen for quite a while. In fact, there it is now. Can't quite read it from here, though. I think he just heard me. Blathering on. Damn. They're all gathered around, drawing a little convention, as I definitely should not be doing. So, my plans are shot to hell, but we're still gonna get these kills. Not quite the level 3 I wanted, but what I wanted to show off was this. The White Shites tattoo. On the PS2 version, that tattoo says fuck off. But on the PAL version, and apparently the Xbox version for some reason, it says White Shites. Which is very, very illogical. Because that's British slang for shit, obviously. And, like, these are white nationalists. Why would they be, one, using foreign terminology to denigrate their race? Being American and being white are the two things they enjoy. So it makes no sense. It was a wise change to make it fuck off instead. But it amused me. I even like downloaded a high resolution scan of this character model, and I was gonna edit it in on screen so that I could compare it to the fuck off tattoo guy. But the game did it for me. Thanks, Xbox version. You're doing wonders today. Real MVP of this recording. This guy over here, you can't lure him out. He won't respond to anything. He's deaf. So we just gotta go bash his head in. I think he's supposed to be hidden in the shadows there. I think he's trying to stealth kill us. How's that working out for you, buddy? Not so great. Now we got our knife. Might as well get... Nope. Keeping that. There's a health refill back there somewhere. Can't be arsed to look for it, as is the British slang that this game apparently uses. Rockstar, the developers of this game, are based in Scotland, of course. Now this hilarious joke with another white shite. Let's see if we can get the good kill on him. We sure can. Not a smart one. Also, he runs out completely unarmed. So even if he had spotted us, would have been bad news for him. He at least should have grabbed this nail gun as he was running out of there. Demonstrating his amazing talent to go from defecating to mid-combat in a matter of seconds. Little tutorial, which allows the enemies to spawn in and get in good positions.
Playing hide and seek, pansy. There's our yourself this time.
Uh-oh.
Always.
That could have gone very bad. When the enemies get too close to you and they start hitting you in melee range, you basically cannot use the nail gun. That can kill you pretty quick. I've died a lot of times to that. Have to wonder if the explosion radius and hit detection has been improved any in this version, because it was very bad in the original PS2 version. Still managed to get some kills with it though. Maybe I'll try to do the same here. This section is preposterously hard. Like I said, the last level got really hard, and it did. It doesn't go down in difficulty for the rest of the game. Like, it's not a weird difficulty curve, it is a huge difficulty spike that just keeps going and going and going for the entire rest of the game. This is a hard-ass game, if we're being honest. Having 5-starred every scene, makes it less so. Since this guy's singled out, he's gonna get the first hit on me. Rude. Oh shit. Yeah, they never stay singled out for long. Strength in numbers with these neo-Nazis. But now he's coming alone.
Lost him! God damn it!
He's not checking the right shadows. Let's see where the other one ended up. Over there. Behind the fence. Can't do much with that. I think all the enemies here in this outside area have been dealt with. Moved around. Who else is out there? So this is the only required kill of the area. And I bet if you were tricky, you'd probably be able to get around it without even killing this guy. But no need to be tricky right now.
Come on out, you bean-eating chicken shit.
So, if we shoot that barrel, it'll murder him.
Think I got the bastard around here, son?
Probably the fastest way to deal with that.
This guy's real pissed.
I wonder if that was British slang, suggesting that his dead friend is merely drunk.
I can see you ain't got no self-respect. It's only natural for your kind.
Die. Fuckers. Yeah, glass shard dropped. I think this glass here broke. It spawned a nice glass shard for us. Right. We have to press the Y button right there. Look out for the context-sensitive button. I'm pretty sure that counts as a checkpoint for us. I certainly hope so, because if not, the last checkpoint was before the trailer with the guy shitting inside. So that's a long way to go back.
I can smell your tainted blood like rotten eggs. I'm sick of this crap.
I hate to let these guys talk, but if I talk, it'll alert them to my presence. That's the real challenge of this challenge run. Let's see. So one new guy has spawned in. He's hiding at the gate. I'm gonna throw a head at him.
Brothers, I reckon I've tracked the bastard. Jerk. I tell you, this...
Jerk. If you say that, whenever you find your friend's severed head, maybe that wasn't a very good friend in the first place. Moving on to the gimmick scene, fueled by hate. The beginning of this scene is very, very difficult, and then the rest of it is just weird. It tests skills that really aren't related to stealth or manhunt in any way. But it'll be testing them nonetheless. It's unavoidable. I did find out in one of my other recordings of this game that you can kill enemies by throwing heads at them and bottles and bricks and stuff. It does do a little bit of damage, and if they're really low health when you do it, they'll die.
I reckon I got you now, boy. Yes, sirree.
Probably wouldn't want a gunfight here, because there's a high concentration of skins. 3 of them wandering around. So once you start shooting, the other 2 might show up. Uh-oh. That was close. So if you want to get 5 stars, you have to red execute all 3 of these guys. I mean, you might be able to sneak by with enough points without doing that, but it'd be real close.
I am sick of this hide and seek. You show yourself. Whoa.
Ah. Weird hit detection.
Well, get it over with.
But we got this all worked out for us.
I was just messing with you. You could take it.
Now they're all dead. Definitely not getting many style points for that, though. Gets us through anyway. Anything that gets you through that first room is good enough. Definitely got stuck here for a long time on my original playthrough as well. Way back in 2003. Here's the hilarious porn scene. We don't get to see it. Obviously. This game pushes a lot of envelopes, but not that one. I did hear that it was massively controversial even among the developers at the time. They were fine with making their Grand Theft Autos, but this crossed some lines. Hard to imagine a time when this was the high water mark, but there definitely was such a time. Would have been faster to execute him, but yeah. And he keeps hearing me. Yeah, the real challenge is doing this with commentary. And trying to be interesting. I'm doing at least 2 or 3. Took half my health there. That's not great. Nothing up in that room. And the crane. Oh, the crane. First, we gotta fuel it up. And to fuel it up, we gotta kill a bunch of guys. Ugh, 2 of them.
You boys might want to come over here. Is he still here, you think? Watching us? Gonna scalp your mom and your daddy, too. I know you're here. I know you're here.
There we go. And that gets us a painkiller. And if we go the right direction here, we'll also get some ammunition. That should speed things up.
Here taking our jobs, our women. Who they think they are? I see us.
There we go. Hopefully, yeah, there's one more.
The filthy sinner hath...
Get the hell out of here. I've always wondered if you could hit them with this girder. I can hit myself with the girder, so surely I can hit them with it. Don't know why they locked that gate. Doesn't really change much, especially because they unlock it as soon as we get the gas can. They really want us to go this route. And they did manage to drain all of our stamina along the way. Good for them. So I recently read on this game's Wikipedia that it had apparently been in development since the early 90s? Early to mid-90s, the Wikipedia says. I don't know how that's possible.
Move it! Move it!
But it was apparently in development with the original Grand Theft Auto engine. They just kept chugging along on this thing for years and years, and serious development started going on around the year 2000.
I'll check this one out.
But for a game that had been in development for so long, it turned out very good.
Nothing here but rat shit.
Come on, you suspicious bastard.
Hold it down.
Nice. Where's the last one? Come here. And one more. They're just lining up to get shot in the face. And once we drop this gas off, we'll be given the opportunity to get shitloads of ammo. More than we could possibly need. But we gotta go through the arduous task of getting the gas there. But yeah, I was surprised this game had spent so long in development. And a lot of games that take that long, they become total messes. So many different people work on them that their visions get all mangled together. Ideas get dragged out. Just things they really wanted in the game fail to pan out. And also, usually when things take that long, it's indicative of things going badly behind the scenes. And then, by the very end, they've wasted so much time and money, they just desperately want to pump out anything at all. So they shit out a total mess. Almost always the case with games that take more than 2 or 3 years to develop. This one, the only way you can really tell that it took so long, the only trademark of games that take too long to make, is that it is way too hard for a casual player. Because the people developing it had many years worth of practice playing it. So to them, it was too easy. But once casual players got their hands on it, nightmarishly difficult. I remember the original LP had someone comment on it that they had never gotten past the junkyard, by which they meant the first junkyard section at the end of the previous scene, after many hours of playing through this game. And I was in about the same boat. If I weren't so interested in seeing the depths this game would ultimately sink to, my morbid curiosity got me to power through it. But that scene just about broke me. I spent hours and hours in there. That refrigerator segment can go so much worse. Usually it, at the very least, takes a lot longer. So I am happy with that. Then we got this moment where auto lock-on screws me over and gets me killed. Yep. They pinned me behind the staircase there. And I was not able to move. God damn, that's a brutal checkpoint. Whew. And the next checkpoint was just down the stairs. Yeah, that is rough. So we gotta go through all this again, but once we do it, we'll be right near the end of the scene. Bad checkpoints make this game more difficult than it needs to be. Deaths are very, very costly. But I bet we are still gonna come in underneath the time star expectation that this game has for us. Because we are still going real light on that stealth. But I gotta do the fridge again. And then there's another fridge segment at the end of the level that's even harder. So, the skins here. I did a video where I showed off all the different kills that are available against the skins. There are 9 different skins for the skins. 9 different character models that you can kill. And there are 3 different weapons. So you can perform a total of 9 different executions. So I showed those off in a little 1.5-minute long video. And I threw in fridge kills as well, just for the sake of thoroughness. And I somehow managed to get 3 kills with 1 drop of the fridge, which was pretty goddamn impressive. Right there, I one-hit killed the guy with the fridge, because it does variable damage depending on how high you drop the fridge from. This is a surprisingly well-made minigame for the fact that it has absolutely no business being in this stealth game. But it's kind of fun. Kind of broken. I was just saying how well made it was, but sometimes that happens. One more hit should take this guy out. That didn't count as a hit. And that didn't count because he was in his getting up animation. There we go. Enough out of him. Now let's not die in this next section. All because I wanted to go for the fancy propane kill. Just to be absolutely sure, I'm going right for the checkpoint.
Make the bastard pay!
Yeah, they won't come after me. Yes, they will. They shouldn't have come after me. Can I kill this guy? I can, but it'll take so much ammo. Now I'm outside of maximum range. Yeah, this is not saving time, so let's not do that anymore. And on the subject of the 9 different character models in this game, many of them are wearing shirts that have references to the song Nazi Punks Fuck Off by the Dead Kennedys, which is meant to be ironic, of course, as these are neo-Nazis, and they ought to fuck off. Many of them have, by force. There's one that says NPFO. In fact, many of them have tattoos that also say NPFO.
I saw him first. Don't let him.
There's a shirt that says First to Go, which is hilarious as a basically demand that you kill them and kill them promptly. And also a reference to the song. The line in the song is, "In the real Fourth Reich, you'll be the first to go." A reference to the real Nazis, who, as they came into power, had a little event called the Night of the Long Knives, where all of their more free-thinking members were murdered by the real fascist ones. Many fascist organizations seek out socialists and punks, many of whom are anarchists. Because it gives their organizations legitimacy. People who are willing to stomach the fascism, the bigotry, and the hatred, but otherwise hold relatively progressive ideals, make fascists look good. And then, of course, once they've outlived their usefulness, they are murdered. Here's our first to go. And one more baseball bat guy. Almost got me. Almost doesn't count. And now we are free and clear to go do another crane. Ugh. At least we don't have to gas it up. Just to be as safe as possible. Because if you die in the crane, you go back to the underground segment. Have to do this whole thing again, and we've already done it twice. Top off my health, and leave this health right here. In theory, I'll be able to pop out of the crane and grab that if things go real sour. In practice, that probably won't work out, but just in case, have that as my lifeline. I've had runs where I did do that, but I've also had runs where I tried to do that and died horribly.
Come on, soldiers.
Maybe we can clamp the fridge on him. Nah. If you get out of the crane while the first wave is still alive, it will just spawn the second wave immediately. And just really fill you with nails. Uh-oh. Gotta get my fridge back. At this point, we can just shoot this guy to death before he does it to us. But we're good. I had a run where I tried to leave a guy pinned underneath the fridge, and get out of the crane. And as soon as I did that, he just popped right back up. They did not want you trying to outsmart the game. So one more Nazi punk. They're not really punks. They're just Nazis. And they're no more. All of them dead. So that could have gone a lot better, but as you can see, it took nearly 20 minutes. We still got the time bonus. They built some deaths into it. And that's 2 gangs wiped out. I believe the next one will be the War Dogs. And yeah, I guess we'll go check them out as we continue playing through Manhunt again, because it's a fun game. Haven't played it in a long time. I'm due for a revisit. So, thank you for watching. And Nazi punks, seriously, fuck off. I made that my channel trailer mostly because it's a great song, and I wanted to tie it into the game that I'm so well known for, and also to unironically tell Nazis to get the fuck off my channel. And I thank them for complying.